Hello. Hi, Avery. Can I get an audio check, please? Oh, wait, the game might be a little loud. Hold on. Okay, can I get it now? Can you hear me? Can you hear the game? Be good to go. I have a cough drop in my mouth. Welcome in, Epic Pikachu. How are you? Think it sounds good? Okay. Check on both. Let's go. Alright. Oh, we left off right here. Okay. Miss Ringer's body was found with 3 wounds in her chest. And we all know what those wounds are from, don't we? That's right. They're from when she was stabbed in the chest by a 3-armed candelabrum. I doubt anybody could survive such grave wounds. If you care to read the coroner's report, I'm sure you would change your tune. Doing okay? I'm glad to hear it. We like okay. Nicely done, Gavel. Now Edgeworth will have to make several objections. Yes, I'm afraid I will. What? Why? Weren't you listening? Oh, I was listening. Very carefully, in fact. Hence my objections. Come on! Why do you always have to undermine me? That's never my intention, I assure you. It isn't? Because you do it so well to yourself every single time already. Of course it isn't. Yeah, I knew that. Because I'm... Please, Eustace. Just stop, for goodness sake. You've already embarrassed me enough. Huh? What do you mean, Dad? Crazy. Okay. Let me review what we know. Okay. 3 puncture wounds on the left side of chest inflicted by candle holder. Someone get the old guy. Okay. We have a closed box. We also got blood here. Okay, well, let's press things.
Hold it!
3 wounds. That can't have been pleasant. Yes. Which is why we must see that the perpetrator of this cruel act pays for their sins. Don't listen to her, Kay. She's just trying to scare you. If we could please continue on, Judge Cabell. Very well. As I was saying, there were 3 wounds.
Hold it!
I do, but perhaps we should ask Mr. Winner. He does, I'm sure. Don't you, Eustace? Who, me? Oh, you bet I do. I know this case inside out. Who does he think he's fooling? Eustace, my boy. Make an old man happy and at least glance at the coroner's report, would you? Sure. Let's see. Yada yada, 3 puncture wounds, blah blah candle holder. No way! That's what they used? Crazy. Precisely. The wounds were inflicted just as Eustace says.
Hold it!
And you're sure the stabs to the chest were the cause of death? There's no doubt about that. None. One of the spikes of the candelabrum even pierced the victim's heart. And unless you mean to call Dr. Hertz's professional opinion into question, we can only treat that as fact. The coroner's opinion backing up my own winning ones. Now that's what I call a flawless victory. Well, I'm certainly not about to ignore the coroner's findings. Hey, what about my findings? You can't just ignore them. What if the cause of death really was the puncture wounds to the chest from the candelabrum? That would seem to contradict one of the pieces of evidence we've gathered. He's not just ignoring my findings, he's ignoring me! Do something, Gavel! As you wish. At the very least, I will ensure that he cannot ignore my own conclusions. Okay. The base is a very unique shape. If it were removed from a dusty shelf or something, it would be immediately obvious what had been standing there. The prongs of each arm are covered in blood. The spacing matches that of the wounds in the victim's chest. But is this really the murder weapon? Okay. I guess there's no stab wounds on this, but I don't know if that's what they want. Because this implies that she was stabbed after she had changed out of the red raincoat, but she's wearing it here and there's blood on her hand, so maybe it's this thing? Wait, what does that say? Just after the incident. Okay.
Objection!
Nope. Is it just the candelabrum?
Objection!
No. What? What do you want, Edgeworth? Is it the red raincoat? Is that what they want from me?
Objection!
Okay, that's what they wanted. So I was right, I just never present the right thing. Chairman Winter, you know what this is, of course. The red raincoat. That's right, isn't it, Verity? Yes, sir. The one Miss Ringer was wearing. I warn you, Mr. Edgeworth, you will not be thanked for retreading old ground here. Well, I'm afraid I might have to, regardless. Now then, if you'll answer me this, Judge Cavell. You told us that the victim's bloodstains were found on the coat, but do you remember where exactly they were found? Of course. They were found on the hood and... No! What's the matter, Verity? The hood and... Was blood found anywhere else on the raincoat? No, it was not. Doesn't that strike you as odd? The victim died of stab wounds to the chest. Wouldn't that lead one to expect to find bloodstains in that area? And yet, there was blood only on the hood. That's a glaring contradiction if I ever saw one. The head wound the victim suffered wasn't just some incidental injury. It was inflicted before the stab wounds to her chest. Hold on, let me crunch my cough drop real quick. I'm gonna mute, it's kind of loud. Okay. Perhaps you are correct. Perhaps the victim did sustain the head injury first. As you said, if she had been stabbed first, there should be blood in the chest area of the raincoat. Therefore, Miss Ringer cannot have been stabbed before the head injury had been inflicted on her. But even if we concede this point, that the head injury came before the chest wound, what difference would it make? How does it change our understanding of the case? I'd say it changes things a great deal. In fact, it raises an even more fundamental contradiction. That is quite the bold claim, Mr. Edgeworth. I have to admit, you have me intrigued. Perhaps you could show us this fundamental contradiction with some evidence. Which piece of evidence best demonstrates the contradiction the order of the injuries revealed? I can't save! I mean, the autopsy, right?
Take that!
This is Dr. Hertz's preliminary findings, according to which the victim suffered a head injury post-mortem. But the order suggested by the bloodstains on the raincoat is exactly the opposite, yes. Bailiff, this court hereby subpoenas Dr. Hilda Hertz to the committee chamber with all due haste. Until she testifies, this case cannot be brought to a close. Yes, Your Honor. I'll go fetch her at once. Unfortunately, Dr. Hertz is a very busy woman. I doubt she'll be able to come immediately. In the meantime, there is another important angle I would like to explore. Frankly, something has been bothering me about the person at the heart of this case. The so-called ringleader. Who exactly are they?
Yeah, good point. We never looked into that, huh?
Despite having been mentioned repeatedly in this hearing, we still don't know even the most basic facts that might help us uncover their identity. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any thoughts on the matter?
We've seen nothing that might serve as clear evidence of the auctioneer's identity as of yet. But there is someone involved with the case that I can name. I suspect that at the very least, they might be able to point us in the right direction.
And that is...
Chairman Winner, I demand that you testify as to what you know.
What? Are you crazy? Why would you accuse my dad?
You would cast doubt on the integrity of the chairman of the committee. Do you understand the implications of such an act?
I don't care who or what he is. We're talking about the truth here. And about a man who seems dead set on framing Kay at all costs. The mask, corsage, ticket stub, and everything else, the items Kay was carrying when she was found. They were deliberately placed in her possession somehow. By Chairman Winner himself.
A shocking accusation, and one that I find hard to believe. But for the sake of completeness, I must ask, why would he do such a thing?
To cast suspicion on Kay, of course. Why else? I even managed to get him to say something to that effect.
Chairman Winner, your rebuttal, please.
I think the good chairman might be in shock. So what if I did? Did you hear me, dear boy? I said, so what if I did? You say you got me to admit as much, but where is your proof, With no witnesses to speak of, your word alone is hardly enough to make an accusation like that stick. Or do you mean to tell us that you have something more to base your outburst on? He still has the arrogance he showed back at the detention center, and yet...
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm going to have to ask you to explain yourself. If that's all right, Mr. Chairman.
Not at all. I'll be very interested to hear this for myself. I'm intrigued to learn where Miles might have gotten the idea that I'm some sort of criminal. Because you'll never find a more fine and upstanding citizen than myself. There's a lot of nerve acting all innocent like that. Very well. Let's start at the very beginning. The fact that the auction took place right here in this hallowed trial chamber is a point of suspicion. A location that should, by rights, only be accessible to members of the committee.
Yeah, they all have keycards to the room after all.
Furthermore, these auctions seem to be held on a somewhat regular basis. And for that to be possible...
There can only be one unique explanation.
That's right, Mr. Winner. That the auctioneer is a member of the committee.
No!
What on earth is wrong now?
What do I do, Dad? I played right into his hands!
You did indeed, you utter nitwit! But Miles, my boy, you do realize that you've cast quite the wide net with your explanation.
That's true. There are 11 members of the committee altogether. 10 given Miss Springer's unfortunate passing. 10 potential suspects in total.
Well, it certainly isn't me. And it can't be the chairman. Can it? Whoever it is, speak up right now!
Come. Calm down, all of you, please. Well, Miles, is that all the proof you've got against me? You're very quiet all of a sudden, but it's too late to back out now. You accused a former chief prosecutor and current committee chairman of a crime. I would tell you to prepare for the worst. But there's no preparing for what you're about to face. Know your place. You've been forcing us to argue over every little detail for a while now. When the murder happened, the order of the victim's injuries, some other things I hardly even remember. But you needn't have bothered, my boy, because it's all irrelevant in the end. Think about it. The suspect herself has already said she did it. That's all that matters at the end of the day, and her sentence will be lighter for it. So rejoice! And there you have it. Feel free to pick holes in it as you see fit. How can I when that was barely a testimony to begin with?
That man, he's a very powerful person, isn't he? It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. Please, just let it go. I did it. I'm the murderer. I even remember doing it.
You saw a flash of something half-remembered, Kay. Nothing more. If you must believe in something... Believe me when I say you should believe in your own innocence instead.
But...
I'm up against the head of the committee here. This isn't going to be easy. But he seems to think he's already won. Perhaps I can use that against him.
Hold it!
I seem to recall the ringleader's identity, and the faulty coroner's report being critical points of contention.
Yes, yes, I was listening, my boy. But critical is a matter of opinion.
How could you possibly suggest that such fundamental issues are not important? Perhaps it is your ability to make sound judgments that should be on trial here today.
Oh, ho, 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 ho! Bravo, my young hothead. Wonderfully cutting stuff. You do like to try, though, don't you?
None of her testimony is admissible anyway. She's in a diminished capacity due to her injuries.
Exactly. Like, hello? Why are we believing anything she says?
Hold it!
There's no way any of what we've discussed today is irrelevant. Not unless you intend to bury the truth.
But none of it is relevant, dear boy. The only reason you keep trying to make it relevant is because otherwise, you're up a creek without a paddle.
Hold it!
Even if the broad strokes are correct, it doesn't make something true.
Oh, don't be such a stick in the mud. I'd say the bigger picture is more than enough here. After all, every case has its little inconsistencies and contradictions. If we let ourselves get bogged down in every single one, we'd never make any arrests. And once we did, the trials would drag on forever. Even you understand that, right?
Not in the slightest, hence my inquiry into the details.
Oh, to be so young and pig-headed. Anyway, you keep digging into these little details.
Hold it!
Just because she confessed to something doesn't make it the truth. Kay is suffering from amnesia, so any statement she makes should be taken with at least a grain of salt.
Objection!
Even so, it doesn't exactly solve anything for us, does it, dear boy? And it would be nonsensical to dismiss her confession outright. I tell you what, why don't we ask her one last time? Oh, I'm sure she'll just say she did it again.
Fine, let's do it. Let's ask her again. We'll see if she really believes herself to be the culprit.
Uh-huh? You mean... me?
Is this really what you want, Mr. Edgeworth? If it goes badly, it could significantly weaken your position. I know, but there's no other way. I only request that I be the one to question her.
You really know how to tug at an old man's heartstrings, you know? But fine, ask away, on one condition. If this turns out to be a waste of time, that's it. We'll call the proceedings to an end, then and there. Agreed?
Call the proceedings to an end? You mean... the hearing?
Yes, dear boy, that's right. Perhaps you aren't a complete muddlehead after all. Now, just so we're clear, if we ask again, and all that happens is the girl confirms her guilt, she is officially declared guilty on the spot. Yes, that sounds like a great plan if I do say so myself.
That's it. You just declare her guilty just like that.
That's the gist of it.
It's a big risk, but he's going to find a way to condemn her either way if we don't do something. Kay.
Yes?
I know it's a lot to ask, but I need you to think. Do you remember anything else about what happened on the day of the murder? Anything that might help us prove your innocence?
Why? Why are you still fighting it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's no use. I can't be of help to you. Sorry. I'm too scared to try and remember anymore. What if I remember something even worse? And if I did, I'd just be making more trouble for you. Please, just accept it. The Kay you thought you knew is a dangerous criminal. A criminal who let you down and betrayed your trust.
Don't worry, Kay. You have nothing to be afraid of. I may not have known you for very long, but I know you well enough. And right now, I'd say I know you better than you know yourself. You would never commit a murder. You could never, because this is who you really are.
Huh? Oh, this one. I was looking for her promise notebook.
Take that!
You're the great thief Yatagarasu, a noble outlaw who would never stoop so low as to kill.
I can't do it. I'm sorry. Because all I can see is the one memory that's returned. I have to face it.
Hold it!
No, the only evidence of your guilt is the confession they forced out of you. As I said earlier, you have to believe that you're better than that. Or are you saying you don't believe a word of what I've been telling you?
No, it's not that. You're trying so hard to help me. And you're risking so much for me. It's too much. You have to stop. I'm begging you.
Ah, so that's what's going on. I thought it was strange, but now I see. The reason you're allowing yourself to be railroaded into accepting your fate is because of me, isn't it? Which is exactly what the K I know would have done.
You're a good person, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but I'm not, and I don't plan on becoming one anytime soon. Because despite all your wishes to the contrary, I'm still trying to help you. So you see, I've merely been I've merely been servicing my own ego, regardless of what I put you through. Now let's try this again. See the good in yourself, Kay. Remember the noble thief you truly are. That memory of you committing the murder, you need to question it with all you have. That's all I ask. So please, do it for me. Kay!
What's wrong? Did you remember something?
Oh, it'd be like some cliché movie plot if she did.
A cow.
A cow?
Mr. Edgeworth, if you could perhaps ask her for a few more details.
Well, Kay, what can you tell us about this cow?
I remember now! The person in the red raincoat! She had it in her hand!
My goodness, family, please stop slamming doors.
A stuffed cow! I can see it so clearly now!
Are you sure, Miss Faraday? Are you absolutely certain?
Yes, I'm sure.
Then this court acknowledges the defendant's latest statements as new testimony.
I have never watched The Simpsons, so I don't get the reference, but slay.
Objection!
Have you lost your mind, Verity? We can't accept testimony like this. With all due respect, Mr. Chairman, information pertaining to the victim and her possessions is new and highly relevant evidence.
Objection!
Need I remind you of the addled state of her memory? No, this simply won't do. Addled? But if we claim her memory is unreliable now, then our own argument is weakened, sir. You said yourself only a few minutes ago that thanks to the suspect's confession, we need not worry ourselves over the finer details, did you not?
That's one of his catchphrases, I see.
Were we to call the validity of her memories into question, then we must also call into question the confession on which our entire argument is based. Is that really the most advisable course of action?
Yes, you're right. Proceed as you see fit, then.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're still in the game, but only by the skin of our teeth. And only thanks to Judge Cavell's intervention. It's almost as if she was on our side for a second.
Only watch The Simpsons here and there? That's fair. It's pretty long, isn't it?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, the stuffed animal? I believe the cow in question is this thing here, Your Honor. We found it in the storeroom, and believe it is yet another auction lot. Wait, that's...
Do you know something, Gavel?
No, it's just not what I imagined. I suppose it is a rather odd thing for the victim to have been carrying. I should look it over carefully.
The left horn is missing.
This hole. Looks like that's where the horn would have gone.
But that doesn't look like stuffing in there. So what is it?
Let's take a look at the rest of this toy and see what else we can find. The right horn seems intact, but I can't say it's doing much for the overall symmetry of the stuffed toy.
Look, Mr. Edgeworth, it moves.
It does.
It sounds like sand being crushed?
It would seem there's a recording device hidden inside. And... I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. Nothing to say for yourself. I've waited so long for this day, and now I'll finally have my revenge.
Ah!
Could that be the moment of the murder?
And someone made a recording of it. Fitted with a recording device, the captured part of a conversation. One of the people recorded has a prominent burn. Hey! That's them right there! Them's the voices I heard, sure as eggs is eggs!
Unfortunately, we have no way of verifying when these voices were recorded. It's possible they have nothing to do with the murder. If only there were some accompanying video footage.
You got bugs in your ears or something, lady? I done told you, them's the voices I heard. And we already know the victim was holding that thing, right? So it's gotta be from when she got got. It's been on the air for 40 years and is still running? That's crazy.
Yes, it is a possibility, but a weak one without more than your word to back it up. We need something more, something credible. Indeed. Yet again, she seems to be stepping in help.
Stepping in help?
She seems to be stepping in, probably to help. Judge Gavel, I think we all know the voices are from the moment of the murder. Consider for a moment the words we heard one of the speakers say. I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. I believe we have something that could explain what these words are referring to and how it's all related. Which piece of evidence proves that the voices are from when the murder occurred?
Prominent burn mark on the back of the victim's right hand.
Take that!
The coroner's preliminary findings, how do they prove anything? Indeed, what on this page shows that the voices must be from the time of the murder.
Take that!
37 seasons and 803 episodes and counting? Holy.
Think again on the words we heard. This part in particular sticks out in my mind. You can't hide that burn from me. The victim had a prominent burn mark on the back of her right hand.
And what of it?
According to case testimony, the victim was carrying that stuffed cow toy, and a burn mark, an identifying mark unique to the victim, was mentioned on the recording it captured.
Huh, it's just a coincidence. Stuff like that happens all the time, right?
I'm not so sure that it does, especially not in this case. The court accepts that the recording may be from the time of the murder. In which case, one of the two voices must belong to the real culprit, and based on the content of the conversation, it seems likely that it's the one we hear the most.
But that still doesn't tell us anything about the killer's true identity, or even if they're male or female.
Due to the voice changers, correct. Unfortunate, but unavoidable. One thing, however, has become clear. We are now able to say that the voices Miss Hart heard were those of Miss Ringer and her killer.
Just like I done told you they was.
We can say something else now, too. Then let's hear it. That is, if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman.
Do as you wish.
According to Miss Hart, just before the murder occurred, two people came up to the storeroom from the committee chamber on the elevator. The ringleader and one of the auction attendees. It seems this was the point at which money exchanged hands. The murder happened immediately afterward, and the auction carried on after that. All of which points to one key fact. What else does this latest revelation tell us? Ah! The ringleader was the killer, Miss Ringer was the killer, and the ringleader was the victim. Since the ringleader was the auction's sole auctioneer, then it follows that they cannot be the victim.
Hey, Gavel!
Not right now, Eustace. There's a good boy. And if they weren't the victim, then they can only have been the killer. A compelling argument, but hardly conclusive. I'm fully aware of that, Your Honor. I was merely warming up for the main event. There were certain traces left on the scene that seemed to suggest that the ringleader was the killer. Then please hurry up and show us. What is something that was placed on the scene that points to the ringleader as having been the killer? This? Probably?
Take that!
What? It's not the ringleader outfit? Hello?
Overruled.
Based on the scene that points to the ringleader as having been the killer. Is it this?
Take that!
No. Based on the scene that points to the ringleader being the killer. The candle holder?
Take that!
No? What? I am confusion! Placed on the scene. What? I mean, like, this wasn't placed on the scene, but it was there. No? What? Huh? What? What am I missing? Cow? But the victim was holding that. I'm confusion. Oh.
Take that!
Okay. The killer deliberately left a large pool of blood at the foot of the Goddess of Justice statue. It was due to that blood that we originally thought the murder had happened in this chamber, but it was simply a ruse designed to cover up the blood that had dripped down from the storeroom. In order to conceal the existence of the underground auction, correct? Correct. If the culprit had nothing to do with the auction, they would have had no reason to cover up that blood, which further supports the theory that the ringleader and the killer were one and the same. And as to the identity of the ringleader, do you have anyone you'd like to name? The auction is always held in the committee chamber, with its storeroom located just overhead. So at the very least, we know that the murderous ringleader has some connection to the committee. Yes, yes. And you suspect me, correct? As the committee's most powerful member, that should hardly be a surprise, right?
Objection!
You're a fine prosecutor, that much I'll give you. But as I think I may have mentioned already, you're also hopelessly naive. Got nothing, dear boy, have you? No evidence whatsoever. Unless you've got something to share after all. Do I have any evidence to show that Chairman Winner is the murderer? Huh? Do I? I'm gonna say no and see what happens. It was Chairman Winner himself who brought up the fact that I suspected him, and he seemed confident right from the get-go that he's untouchable. Which means he knows. He knows I have nothing. Oh! Well, Miles, my boy, time to pay the piper. I've always wanted to say that. Verity is all yours.
Wait, dang it. I just remembered something. Huh? Did you have amnesia too? No, it just done came to me. Flash of inspiration. You know how it is.
Very well. Say your piece.
Objection.
What are you doing, Verity?
Mr. Edgeworth has made it clear that he won't give up until the very last lick of hope has been extinguished. So extinguish we must, lest he try to drag us through this excruciating process again in the future.
Yeah, what she said. I don't quite get it, but it sounded pretty cool. Don't worry, Dad. I'll help Gavel bring this to a winning finish. We'll show them how wrong they are.
Fine. Let's hear what the witness has to say.
You heard the chairman, Miss Hart. If you would be so kind.
Well, all right then. Here goes nothing.
The facts, Miss Hart, and nothing but the facts, please.
Don't you worry your pretty little head on that front. I'm a journalist. Truth's my middle name.
Color me officially worried.
So the ringleader's the killer, right? Which makes the victim one of them auction goers. Thing is, that don't add up. I counted 11 people coming down that hatch, see? Then the murder happened, and then the auction started back up again. Now, I had me a look back downstairs right after that.
No.
And wouldn't you know it, there were 11 little duckies all lined up in a row again.
How? And you're sure of this, Miss Hart?
Sure as sure could be, your gavelship. Saw 'em with my own two peepers. So, 11 before the murder, and 11 again right after means... Wait! That's a thingy!
A contradiction, Eustace. Do try and keep up.
Miss Hart, did nothing really change at all?
I done told you already. They carried right on again like nothing ever happened. Oh, except for, it was nothing much, but...
What is it?
The little old mallet doodad. Can't have yourself an auction without one. Kinda like that one Missy over there's got, but different.
The auctioneer's hammer.
That's the bunny. I done heard that thing banging and clanging right the way through, then nothing, just like that.
So the noise of the hammer stopped midway through. Could it have something to do with the murder?
Miss Hart's observations about what happened during the mysterious auction.
If what Miss Hart is telling us is true, we have something of a problem. Namely, that if the victim is neither the auctioneer nor one of the attendees, your entire theory cannot stand, Mr. Edgeworth.
Grr! Chalk one up for justice. Eat that, Edgeworth.
See, Mr. Edgeworth? There really was nothing we could do. No, there must be something we're overlooking. Something we still don't have an explanation for. I just need to think. If I can't, Kay is...
All right, kids. Do we finally have all our answers now? If so, then I expect you to make good on...
One moment, sir. I worry that it might still be a little early to pass judgment. After all, we have one more matter yet to resolve. And until we do, we cannot claim complete and total victory over Mr. Edgeworth. Is that not so, Mr. Edgeworth? Frankly, I expected you to have raised your voice by now. A loud, hold it, perhaps? Oh, yes, of course. And once again, she has rescued us from the jaws of defeat.
Very well. Let's get this over with, shall we? What is this one matter that still remains?
Why, the contradiction in the coroner's report, sir.
That's...
I'm back with the witnesses, Your Honor!
What's this all about? Why'd you call us back down here? Did somebody suddenly fall ill? I'll have a compress ready in 2 shakes of a ouch! This better be good. Did somebody else drop dead? Well, they might soon wish they had.
Dr. Hertz, Miss Needler, thank you for coming on such short notice. Let me assure you, this won't take long.
Quit trying to butter me up and cut to the chase, will ya?
Of course. We summoned you here to confirm something. What is Judge Cavell up to? Dr. Hertz, this court asks that you provide the unabridged truth regarding the following. Do you stand by your preliminary findings? Can you vouch for their complete and total accuracy?
Grandma doesn't make mistakes. Ever!
That's strange.
Huh? What do you mean?
In the course of this trial, an error was indeed found in her report. And so I ask again for the truth, Dr. Hertz. Did you alter, tamper with, or in any way falsify your findings?
That's awful! How could you even say that? What are you asking me for? Why the heck would I want to do that?
To help the true culprit, of course.
As if I know anything about all that. I just know I didn't do anything of the sort.
Then that seems doubly strange. What other explanation could there be for the discrepancy in your report? Mr. Edgeworth, I wonder if you might have any thoughts on the matter. It's not like you to be coy, I must say. Why does she keep taking charge and helping me? I still don't know what she's trying to do, but I'll happily take what I can get. If everything was recorded accurately, and then handed off to Mr. Winner according to protocol, then the report shouldn't contain any mistakes.
Wait! For the record, I didn't do anything to the report!
I guess we'll see, won't we? Dr. Hertz, perhaps we could begin with your side of the story.
Why do we even need to? This is pointless.
I'll be the judge of whatever's pointless, thank you very much.
We have patients waiting back at the hospital. But Grandma, ouch! We really don't have time for this.
Won't you please help us? I can't stress how important this is.
Grandma says she'll testify, but could you please make it quick? If we're not back soon, people will suffer.
And yet you had no qualms about taking your time and buying cotton candy the last time we saw you. We'll let you go as soon as we can, I promise. Assuming you tell us the truth, that is.
The so-called mistake in the report. No way there's a mistake in Grandma's report. Not never. I've been dealing with the dead longer than you've been alive, Sonny Jim. Me writing something wrong is about as likely as ouch. And what the heck do you think I'd stand to gain by doctoring a file, Don't make a lick of sense. And that's all she has to say. Nothing funky here.
See, it's just as I thought. There's no chance the good doctor doctored her findings.
And you swear by the holy goddess that this testimony is true?
Of course. Grandma's never told a lie in her...
Your opinions are not necessary, Nurse Needler. Your grandmother is the subject of this inquiry, not you.
Not necessary? That's not fair. I'm the only ally poor Grandma has. Go ahead and shout objection left and right, but you best be prepared then, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor.
Oh, I'm more than prepared. I'm ready to expose the truth behind the error in the report.
Never. You're saying that Dr. Hertz is infallible.
She has to be. A doctor can't afford to make mistakes. Even a veteran like Grandma would be out of a job if she messed up even once. So there's no way she, of all people, would... I got a whole hospital relying on me. Might be you can bungle your work and survive, mister, but I can't.
That's crazy.
Hold it!
The victim appears to have put this raincoat on after sustaining the head injury, and yet there was not a single drop of her blood in the chest area of the raincoat. Therefore, she must have been hit in the head before she was stabbed in the chest, making it pre-mortem.
Oh, that's ouch! I don't need you to teach me how to suck eggs, young man. My dank report already says what you just said, don't it?
The report states that the head injury appears to have been sustained post-mortem, which is the exact opposite of what I just said.
Oh. Sure. I diligently dictated that report to Florence here, and she wrote it all down just like I said it. If something happened to it after that, weren't nothing to do with me.
You dictated it. If you could please tell me more.
I diligently dictated that report to Florence. Anything after that weren't nothing to do with me. Okay.
Just so we're on the same page, what were your conclusions regarding the body?
Well, like I said, ouch! Sorry, it was, death from a good hard knock to the noggin.
And can you say for certain when that knock happened, Dr. Hertz?
Pre-mortem, of course. Chest wound happened after the poor girl died. I told Florence that, and she wrote it right down, so that's what it says in my dank report.
That may be what you told her, but I think we're finally getting to the truth. Dr. Hertz, I'd like you to take a look at the report for yourself.
Oh, I'll read it to Youch! This ain't what I said. This ain't what I said at all.
What? What do you mean exactly?
I don't know. But I can't say that.
Miss Needler, if you are attempting to bury Dr. Hertz's truth, I will gladly hear her confession myself on behalf of the Goddess of Justice. Dr. Hertz seems to be telling Judge Cavell something in private. What? I see. Very well. Allow me to relate to everyone what you have just told me. Ain't no doubt about what I said. I dictated my findings to Florence just like I told you I did. Oh, thank you for the head pat, Kresnik. Welcome in, how are you? The fuddle-headed young thing must have wrote it down wrong or something.
Wow, that was a great impression.
Yes, but was it really necessary? So in summary, there's an error in the report. And it was all because of you, Nurse Needler.
Ah,
The true facts have now been shown to be that the head injury occurred prior to the chest wound.
Glad to be here, glad you're here. Welcome in, how are you? You're doing well? Glad to hear it. I'm also doing well. I'm hoping we can finish this case today, but we might not be able to, because there's still one whole segment after this. You get to hear my voice acting screams. Don't expect much! It's just for funsies. But yeah.
The question now, Miss Needler, is why did you introduce such an error? Just a minute, Verity. Make it sound as if the poor girl did it deliberately. Whereas it seems to me she just made a little mistake. Pre-mortem, post-mortem. They're practically the same word, don't you think? Huh?
Like what I hear? Thank you.
Except they mean two completely opposite things. This was deliberate, no doubt about it.
But why would she want to change it? Exactly! Thanks, Ouch! You won't get away that easy. Explain yourself, young lady.
I can't get used to their official localization names. Literally same. Some of them are good, and some of them are, subpar, should I say. Yeah, the fan-translated ones, they cooked with some of those. The best, my beloved.
But Grandma,
You submitted a falsified report, an act that led to Kay being accused of murder. You owe us an explanation.
I can't. I can't tell you.
Not don't want to, but can't. This is really rather unpleasant, don't you think? Ganging up on this poor, considerate girl who's only looking after her grandmother. She has nothing to do with anything. She simply made one tiny mistake, so why not leave it there? You'd like that, wouldn't you? Because the only person her testimony would hurt is you. What on earth do you mean, my boy?
Seeing as you're now a de facto ex-prosecutor, you're going to need to explain yourself better than that.
I'd be happy to. I'll even spell it out for you. Nurse Needler's role in this crime was very important because...
I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but... Yoink.
She's the real victim. She's dead, guys. Zombie. Nurse Needler doctored the report in order to cover for her accomplice.
Ouch!
Oh, so she's a co-conspirator. This innocent young thing. Do share your grounds for making such a wild accusation, dear boy. A zombie? You've seen it here, folks. Zombie, the true victim.
The murder couldn't have been committed by one person working on their own. Without at least 2 people, it wouldn't have been possible to...
Doctor the report? Maintain attendee numbers to... Ooh, wait a minute.
If the auctioneer was the murderer and the victim was one of the attendees, the fact that a witness testified to there being 11 attendees even after the murder doesn't make sense.
Hey, watch it! Y'all gotta call my good word into question now, too?
That's not what I meant. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I'm taking you at your word, which means there must be a co-conspirator.
I know it's hard, my boy, but sometimes you just have to accept that you were wrong.
I wasn't wrong. I just hadn't considered the possibility of the killer having an accomplice.
Lotta. She comes out so often. She's so funny, though. Sometimes very obnoxious, but she's funny.
But as soon as we do, things start to fall into place. If the killer's accomplice returned to the auction room in place of the victim, there would indeed have been 11 attendees both before and after the murder.
Well, well. So that's your thinking, is it? It's certainly an intriguing theory.
But surely the imposter would have been spotted right away. I don't imagine that Nurse Needler looks strikingly different from the victim in build and stature. With the help of a mask, she could very easily have replaced Miss Ringer without anybody noticing. Well, Nurse Needler, is that what happened? Did you take the victim's place at the auction?
I wouldn't do something like...
Now tell us, the ringleader. Who were they?
I can't tell you. I just can't. It hurt Grandma, too. Ow! But Grandma... Don't you worry about me. I can take it. You just tell me everything, child. But... Grandma!
Is this not assault? So I was right. She was an accomplice.
Miss Needler, why?
Well, Miss Needler, can you explain yourself?
Yes. Huh? Oh, thank you, Grandma. But I'm all right now. I confess it. I changed places with Miss Ringer.
So you admit that you were working with the ringleader?
Yeah, I was helping them. I don't know how, but they found out Miss Ringer was going to attack them.
The culprit was going to be attacked. By the victim.
They seemed pretty sure it was going to happen that night, so they made a counterplan. They wanted to strike first, and they wanted me to help them. I was told to go to the storeroom before the auction began and wait there. Now hold on right there, Missy. I didn't see nothing and my eyes don't lie. If you'd have been there from before the auction, I would have bumped right into you. I was there the whole way through, and you weren't there for a bit of it. But I'm not lying.
Well, that's easy for you to say, but you were lying about altering that report only a few minutes ago. I think we're all well aware that the number of potential hiding places... We're all well aware of the number of potential hiding places in that storeroom.
Are we? Where exactly are you trying to say our friend the nurse was hiding?
Nurse Needler hid here while she was waiting in the storeroom.
Take that!
She hid inside this clothes box.
Oh, she did she?
Huh. Well, it was there the whole time, even before I moseyed on in. But like I done told y'all, it had all them chains around it. Wanted to hide in there myself, really, but it was locked up tight, so I had to go elsewhere.
I imagine that's because Nurse Needler was already lying in there by the time you arrived.
That's right. We didn't want anybody to open it, or it would have really blown our cover. So the ringleader told me to climb in and wait until it was time for my part of the plan. And then they wrapped the whole box up in chains. I think they took the elevator downstairs not so long after. It was just before the auction was due to start.
So as the auction was beginning, you and Miss Hart would have been the only people in the storeroom.
Yeah, I think so.
The auction proceeded as it always did, until a certain customer came upstairs to complete her purchase. That was when the incident occurred. Miss Hart overheard the victim and the culprit exchanging words around them.
You betcha! I was behind that statue there, shaking like a dang leaf the whole time.
In the middle of their quarrel, Miss Ringer was killed by the auctioneer. I imagine that the auctioneer then carried Miss Ringer's body over to the clothes box, from which Nurse Needler emerged and swapped places with the victim, after placing Miss Ringer's body inside the box. Nurse Needler's role was now to pretend to be Miss Ringer. The two of them then returned to the room below as if nothing had happened. Does that about sum up what happened in the storeroom, Nurse Needler?
Yes, in fact, that's exactly what happened. Hold up, so you just waltzed right back on in and nobody noticed? This is two completely different people we're talking about. You're telling me not one of the other folks down there at the auction cottoned on?
Why would they? The other auction goers had no reason to notice the difference when Nurse Needler entered because... she had stolen the victim's clothes? As we've seen, Miss Ringer and Nurse Needler are about the same build. What's more, the auction rules required attendees to wear their masks at all times. If Nurse Needler were wearing the same clothes as Miss Ringer, nobody would have been any the wiser.
No, and they weren't. I borrowed Miss Ringer's clothes and ouch! And left the poor child in her smalls. Have you no respect, girl? No, Grandma, I thought the same thing. It wouldn't be nice to leave her like that. So when the ringleader wasn't looking, I put that raincoat on her.
So that's how Miss Ringer came to be wearing it. Thus, the auction was able to carry on as before.
Guess the part where I caught the red raincoat on film came just after. Yeah, it must be. Then it all makes sense. Right after that was when I went on over and looked downstairs through the gap in the elevator. Spied me 11 happy little auction goers. Then back I snuck into my little hidey hole.
Don't tell me you were hiding back there the entire time after that.
Well, that is... not exactly.
What is it? Did something happen?
So, maybe I ought to have mentioned this before, but I fell asleep for a few winks after that. Well, passed out. Unconscious, you might say.
What? What happened?
Oh, nothing much. Kinda silly, really, but, there was this sudden loud noise and it startled me just a little bit, you know? Alright, maybe more than a little, but I just witnessed a murder. Can't blame a girl for getting jumpy. Guess that got my heart shook and my head faint. Before I knew it, I was out like a light. By the time I came to, it was the next dang day, and there y'all were, clanking down that ladder.
I see. So you were startled by a loud noise and fell unconscious. I suppose that means you don't know what happened after that.
Not per se, but, well, after the auction was all over, the masks were all back on the rack. So I reckon the guests done finished up and filed out one by one like they was supposed to.
Nurse Needler, once the auction had restarted, what exactly were you doing?
I was pretending to be Miss Ringer and placing bids, just like the ringleader wanted. I had to win the clothes box as I'd been instructed. It had a dead body inside, after all. Imagine if somebody else had won it. We would have been in real trouble then.
So you had no idea that the victim had vacated the box in the meantime?
No, not until we came back up so I could pay for it. That was when we noticed. The ringleader told me to go look for her right away. Except I found some other girl collapsed at the foot of the ladder instead.
Kay.
Yes, she must have fallen from up on the roof and been knocked unconscious. Guess the victim must have left that hatch wide open, huh?
That would explain it. Kay would have been so shocked by seeing Miss Ringer fall motionless right in front of her that she wouldn't have seen the open hatch and fallen right through it. That explains the noise that caused you to faint as well, Miss Hart. It was the sound of Kay crash landing onto the storeroom floor. I want Ace Attorney 7 to be real so bad. Same. Where is it, man? It's been so long.
Yeah, I suppose. Can't believe something like that done knocked me out for so long, though.
So in summary, by the time Miss Needler found Kay, you were already sound asleep behind the statue. I think we've got a good grasp on what occurred up to this point now, Nurse Needler. I think we've got a good grasp on what occurred up to this point now. Nurse Needler, if you would continue.
The leaks told us everything, Capcom. Do they have something in the works? Are they cooking? Sure, so I found Kay, and next I found Miss Ringer, and I put them both in the clothes box. We couldn't risk any of the auction goers seeing them. That would have caused a real hullabaloo.
Was that your idea, or the ringleader's?
Theirs. But putting the raincoat on Miss Ringer was my own idea.
We know you have it in the works. Please, 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 please.
More Ace Attorney. So I tried to get rid of it before they found out what I'd done.
I imagine they were none too pleased when it showed up as a surprise piece of evidence in this case.
And lastly, the ringleader and I put her in an auctioneer's outfit we'd prepared.
Of course, which completed the deception and made everyone think she was the auctioneer.
All in all, the auction finished up without anybody noticing anything, and that was that.
Ace Attorney 7 was leaked years ago, but we've had nothing since.
Why? Why? What are they waiting for?
Now that we know the extent of your crimes, Nurse Needler, if you have anything further to share, I'd advise you to do so immediately.
I wish I could tell you more, but I'm sorry, that's all I know. Oh, except for one other thing. It did seem a little strange, I guess. When I was borrowing Miss Ringer's clothes, I took everything I could, but I couldn't take her hair, obviously, so ouch! You're dang right you couldn't take her hair. What kind of medical professional are you?
That's where you draw the line? So taking her clothes was okay?
Our hair was totally different. The style, the length, everything. I kinda panicked. But the ringleader thought of everything, including wigs. 2 of them, in fact. There was a straight one and a wavy one. They were both stashed in the clothes box.
2 wigs? Why?
Right? I wondered that too. I thought maybe they were worried she might have changed up her style. Anyway, I took the straight one. That was the one that matched her hair on the day.
Leaving a wavy wig in the box.
Needler's description of how she swapped places with Rosie Ringer.
That's everything you know. There's nothing else you're forgetting.
No? Huh? No, really, Grandma. That's everything.
And I take it you really have no idea who the ringleader might be.
Sorry, I only know that they were in charge of the auction. I didn't see them without their mask on, and they were pretty careful to keep their identity a secret from everyone.
If I can't get something concrete on them... Oh. Well, Miles, are we about done? We've proven the nurse was part of the murder plot, but sadly for you, it doesn't change a whole lot. Because it does nothing to prove that Kay Faraday isn't the ringleader. And justice must prevail. We can't change the law, even for your sake. Is this it? Am I not going to be able to save Kay?
Objection!
Queena! Francisca, what are you doing here?
As I told you before, Miles Edgeworth, where the case leads, I follow.
Your dedication is an inspiration to us all.
But don't go getting the wrong idea, little brother. I'm only here to deliver the truth regarding the suspect. I'm certainly not here to forgive you for abandoning the way of the prosecutor.
I understand that.
You should thank your former subordinate for what I'm about to share. In his desperation to help Kay Faraday, he gave me a valuable piece of information.
Detective Gumshoe did that?
Prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth, for the final piece of the puzzle. Rosie Ringer's head wound was the first of the injuries she suffered, not the second. Well, someone say something!
Yes, there's no easy way to say this, Francisca, but we already proved that ourselves.
You what?
Yes, just a few minutes ago!
Well, why didn't you say so sooner?
You didn't exactly give us a chance.
And I suppose you know about the murder weapon, too?
No, not yet.
Ha! Good. Then listen up. The victim was struck on the head with a blunt object bearing a circular surface, and the wounds to the chest were actually inflicted post-mortem.
A A circular surface.
Objection.
You're certain of that, I assume. Your sources are above board.
Two trusted medical professionals reached the same conclusion independently. You couldn't ask for more.
Objection.
That's certainly good to know.
Objection!
Unfortunately, you're overstepping the bounds of...
Of what? I'm the prosecutor in charge of Interpol's investigation into the underground auction. And this murder occurred during that auction. It would be negligent of me not to pursue leads pertaining to related parties, especially the victim.
My. You've really become quite the force to be reckoned with, haven't you, my dear?
Then all parties are in agreement. The victim died from a blow to the head.
The death occurred as a result of a heavy blow to the head with a circular object. Chest wounds inflicted post-mortem. Sadly, the murder weapon itself has yet to be identified.
Based on the shape, I might have an idea or two.
But guys, I didn't turn up any other weapon during my investigation!
And yet, one need only think about the setting and an auctioneer's tools, and the answer should be obvious. An object with a circular surface used in an auction. We're obviously talking about
Judge Gavel's hammer.
what would an auctioneer have readily at hand?
I like how every single option was still a hammer.
An auctioneer's hammer, of course.
We never found one of those!
If the auctioneer was indeed the killer, it does seem a likely candidate for the murder weapon. But without the evidence to support your theory, it remains nothing more than that. Oh, I have just the evidence you need right here. This piece of evidence strongly suggests that the auctioneer's hammer was the murder weapon. Huh? What? What?
Cause of death appears to be blood force trauma from an object with a circular striking surface. Yeah, but that's what we're talking about right now. Oh, the sound of the auctioneer hammer could no longer be heard.
Take that.
Miss Hart told us something very important about the auction after the murder occurred. She said that the very prominent sound of the auctioneer's hammer could no longer be heard. Now, why would that be? I'll tell you why. Because it had just been used in a murder and was covered in the victim's blood. It would need to be disposed of. Isn't that right? Chairman Winner.
I'll have our people look into this right away.
Oh, you really are like a dog with a bone, aren't you, dear boy? But if you can't dedicate yourself to a cause when you're young, when can you,
He seems very confident we'll never find it.
Very well. A search for the murder weapon will be conducted. In the meantime, this court is in recess.
Gosh.
We continue.
Silence in the courtroom, please. Miss Von Karma, if you would be so kind as to update us on the progress of the search.
It's not good news, I'm afraid. The entire big building has been searched from top to bottom, and no auctioneer's hammer was found anywhere. The finger tap is so fluid. Correct. The animations in this game are really, really good. It's so, I don't know how I feel about it, but the animations are so smooth here. It's really nice. I do like the pixel art though, but I think the HD sprites, like the little ones, they're really, really cute, which is why I'm playing in this style. Ugh.
That is bad news indeed. Then, we have no choice but to move ahead with the verdict.
Ah, such a terrible shame. But I suppose only a fool would have left the murder weapon behind. It's certainly not what I'd expect from a first-rate criminal mind.
No, there's just not enough to work with here. I can't carry us any further on my own.
Yes, it really is a tragedy, but such is life, I suppose. I was just thinking back over the defendants I've made plea deals with over the years. People who poured their hearts out to me. who trusted me with every detail of their crimes. And then, when it came to their sentencing, I recommended life in prison every time. For every single one. Oh, if only you could see them. The stupid, dumbfounded looks on their faces.
The verdict will now be passed. All present will accept the goddess's words as law.
There's nothing more I can do. Kay and I are both...
If only we had some proof! I never imagined I would be passing judgment on you under such circumstances.
The end of the road, huh?
By the power vested in me, Excelsius Winner, this court hereby indicts you for your crimes.
What? Huh? What on earth has gotten into you, Verity?
I submit for the court consideration the case file of a certain incident, namely the IS-7 incident, a murder that took place 18 years ago.
What does that file have to do with... Wait, you mean... Your late night visit to this chamber? That was to...
Precisely. I came here to retrieve these documents. Though sadly, it would seem that I arrived too early to catch the auction itself. When we spoke of the matter before, I implied that I had come to retrieve files pertaining to your own case. You'll have to forgive me. That was a ruse to buy myself more time.
Details of a murder case from 18 years ago. Let me, peep the file.
December 24th, 18 years ago. Prosecutor Manfred von Karma. Defense attorney Gregory Edgeworth. Victim Artie Frost. Suspect Samson Tangaroa. Case summary. Body of Artie Frost discovered in mansion belonging to Samson Tangaroa. Persons of interest. Delicia Scone, Judy Bound, Carmelo Gusto. Notes. Carmelo Gusto and Artie Frost's sons would both visit Tangaroa's mansion up through the day before the incident. From the day of the incident onward, their whereabouts are unknown.
What the heck are you doing, Gavel? You can't just accuse my dad! Without proper grounds, it's defamation!
An excellent observation, Eustace.
It is?
And of course, I have the grounds to make such an accusation. 18 years ago, Mr. Manfred von Karma had some details about a victim's body fabricated.
Details he was forced to fabricate when the sculptor Artie Frost's body went missing.
My papa? Fabricating information? What is the meaning of this? Oh, Francisca. She has no idea. Ian Seidman, the detective originally assigned to the case, did in fact report that the body had gone missing. However, it seemed that a certain someone wasn't very pleased with Mr. von Karma, and deliberately withheld that information in order to bring him down a few pegs.
What?
This individual refuses to allow anyone to go against their wishes or to challenge their power, and they're known to go to extreme lengths in order to bring those who defy them to heel. 18 years ago, they were no different. In fact, they even ordered Dr. Hertz to create a fake autopsy report for the IS-7 incident.
What? She was responsible for the fake report.
Wait, you have to understand. Rema, she's not a bad person. She had to do what he said. She didn't have any choice.
He?
The person in question was the chief prosecutor at the time.
The chief prosecutor 18 years ago? No.
The man who gave Papa the first penalty of his career! Excelsius Winner, it was you!
Objection!
What are you all talking about? My dad would never do something like that!
He was not born. He does not know.
Overruled.
I'm sorry, Eustace, but your opinion on the matter is not needed here. Well, Chairman Winner, do you have anything to say for yourself?
All that nonsense with the body. That was Manfred's doing. Such a willful boy. And the fake autopsy report. Hilda, how could you?
I do like Eustace, Sebastian's voice in this version too. Yeah, it fits him. It fits him. I had to think about it. I was like, what does he sound like? He hasn't said anything in a while.
I can't believe you naughty kids would do such dishonest things behind my back.
Hold it!
We could just ask her why she did it. She is standing right over there, after all.
His whiny voice is so iconic, yeah. This one works quite well, too. He's just such a... He's such a baby.
Wait, Grandma can't. She's... Ouch! Grandma, I'm sorry. I knew. That's why I... Right, exactly. If I didn't, everybody would have found out about what you did. They said he was going to charge you if I didn't help them with their plan. They said he would... I just had to do what the auctioneer said.
You were coerced... So you were coerced into it, were you, Nurse Needler? And just to be clear, the auctioneer was Chairman Winner.
I'm sorry, but I honestly don't know. The person forcing me to help them was the auctioneer. And they definitely looked to be about the same build as the chairman, but I never saw their face.
Well, there must be something. Any detail, no matter how small, will do.
Oh, wait! Their mask didn't cover their whole face. And the part that wasn't covered had a tattoo on it. I remember that much for sure. Ringleader wore a white jacket, white gloves, a magenta flower, and a mask. Also had a tattoo on the part of the face the mask didn't cover.
A tattoo.
Objection.
This all sounds very dramatic, but I really don't know what you're talking about. There is no tattoo anywhere on my face. I think I'd know if there was one, wouldn't you? Which means I can't be the ringleader, no matter how much you might want me to be. I only hope you can figure out who this shameless manipulator might be. Your contempt for this courtroom is an insult to the goddess. Are you sure it's not you who's feeling insulted here? I am not the only one who's been trying to bring you to justice. Miss Ringer has been trying too. And I refuse to let her sacrifice be in vain. Young Rosie was looking to take me down, you say? But why? I barely knew her. I've always had a certain magnetic charm, but I don't remember ever catching that particular eye.
Mans has Riz?
You barely knew the victim. Why, I do believe that is a new statement.
If the greatest attorney duology didn't exist, game would easily be the best game in the series. This one is really good. The investigation games, they cooked with these.
The goddess demands that you offer your full testimony on the record. So that's how this is going to go. You mean to hound me until I finally break? Well, if that's the way you want to play it, fine. I'll destroy you all. Every last one of you. Mr. Edgeworth, please allow me to work with you on this one. I doubt we'll get another chance to put him on the stand.
I love the wringing out the beard of the sweat. Yeah, it's so good. These animations are so good.
So let's make the most of this opportunity. Of course, Your Honor. I wouldn't have it any other way. Now, Chairman Winner, you will tell this court everything you know about Miss Ringer.
Everything I know about Miss Ringer.
Young Rosie was a member of the committee, of course. But we never really had any personal interactions. At least none that I remember. I had no motive to murder the poor girl whatsoever. And I have absolutely no idea why she was after me. So you don't mean to accept your part in any of this?
Of course he doesn't! He isn't guilty! How could he be? He's my dad! The winner of winners!
That's very kind of you, Eustace, but you'll need more than mere words if you plan to cover for me.
Right! You got it! I won't let them pin this on you! I believe in you, Dad! You'll beat Edgeworth! I know you will!
Yes, yes. You really are such a sweet, simple child.
He really loves his dad, huh?
But that's no excuse for him to ignore his father's crimes. No matter how much he respects him. Small baby, so stoopy. He's very stoopy. Regardless of their situation in life, all criminals will be made to atone for their sins in time. This won't be easy on Mr. Winner, but it has to be done. We can't let his father get away with this.
Hold it!
As a member of the committee, you must at least have been familiar with her face.
Sure, but that's about all. I saw her every once in a while.
So you're saying you barely knew the victim at all?
That's exactly what I'm saying, my boy, yes. Why? Oh. I never even knew about that burn mark on her hand.
You didn't.
I mean, what's the point? You get to know someone, but before you know it, they're gone. It's become such a pain to remember things about others. They're here one day and gone the next.
Yes, because they dare to stand up to you and you make them disappear. If you could please add your remark about the victim's burn to your statement, Chairman Winner.
I didn't even know about the burn mark on her hand.
You're sure you didn't know about the burn mark?
Really don't let up, do you? I'm not in the habit of memorizing who has a scar on their hand and who doesn't.
But this wasn't just any old scar. I'd say it's pretty noticeable, in fact. Perhaps under normal circumstances, but now that I think about it, Miss Ringer did always wear gloves. Truth be told, I wasn't aware of the burn mark until after the incident myself. The victim's hands were always covered by a pair of gloves.
Makes sense, of course. People can be very self-conscious about such things. I can only sympathize, being something of a sensitive soul myself.
I hope you're not too sensitive to append that statement to your testimony. So you remember her always wearing gloves?
I mean, it was something of a trademark of hers, yes. Who knew it was to hide a burn mark? I always imagined it was just a fashion statement. Does your little friend there have something to hide under all those bandages, I wonder?
Who, me? No, I don't have anything to hide.
You don't. Not even the stony visage of a cold-blooded murderer.
If anyone here is hiding such a thing, it's you. And I'll expose your true face if it's the last thing I do.
You never fail to entertain, my boy. Go ahead and do your worst.
So Miss Ringer always wore gloves. That reminds me of something. I should look over all the evidence again.
Cow.
So Miss Ringer always wore gloves. If she did, that raises a rather important question, and highlights quite a contradiction.
A contradiction, you say? Really?
If we listen again to the conversation that was captured by the stuffed cow, you'll soon see what I mean.
And... I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me.
Nothing to say for yourself? I've waited so long for this day, and now I'll finally have my revenge.
Ah!
We can be reasonably certain that what we just heard is the moment the victim was attacked. I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. We assumed that those were the words of the killer.
And where's the problem in that? It seems like a perfectly sensible assumption to me.
I'm afraid not, Chairman Winner. For you see, if the victim was always wearing gloves, just as you testified, then the burn mark on her hand should not have been visible to her killer.
Objection.
You speak as if gloves can't be easily removed. She could have taken them off during the auction.
That's...
But she hadn't. She was still wearing them when I changed places with her. So they must have been on her hands when she was being murdered, too.
What are you saying, my dear? You do know how much trouble you're in, don't you?
I'm not scared of you anymore. I have Grandma on my side now. Now it's time for you to pay the piper, Winner, you dang devil.
I see. So you're both looking to disappear too. That can be arranged.
Not this time, Excelsius Winner. The only person disappearing will be you.
Objection.
Hey, you can't talk to my dad like that. Who cares if the burn was covered up? Why does that even matter?
Objection.
Oh, it matters. Because it turns our understanding of the burn mark on its head.
What do you mean? What could the fact that the victim's burn mark was covered up possibly tell us?
Think about it like this, Mr. Winner. The victim was wearing gloves. Therefore, the burn mark on her hand would not have been visible. In which case, whose burn mark was it that was being referenced in the recording?
Somebody who, wasn't the victim?
Precisely, which can only mean that the culprit had a prominent burn mark too. Or to put it another way, I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. Those words were spoken not by the murderer, but by the victim.
No way!
Objection.
Eustace, my boy, would you mind stepping aside for a sec? Look, Miles, it's nice to see you having fun with your little flights of fancy, but let's get serious. So the murderer had a burn mark now. Really? Where? Your little theory will either take flight or die, depending on your answer here, I'm afraid. He's not messing around. I have to figure out where that burn mark was, and fast.
I wonder where it could have been. All the auction people were wearing disguises, right?
Yes, and each disguise was different. Yet in spite of that, the burn mark was visible to the victim somehow, which means... Well, shall we? Enlighten us, why don't you? Where was the murderer's burn mark? I assume you have some evidence.
I can't save! Ah! If I submit a mugshot, does that mean the face? We'll give it a try. Oh no, I can't. Never mind.
Take that.
Nope. Lovely. When did this save? Autosave. Whee! Okay, well, it's like 3 minutes. Out of my previous save, so we'll take it. Okay, the murderer had one too. Know this. Blah blah blah.
Objection.
Objection. Okay. Wink. Let me think. Because I don't have the auctioneer's mask.
Take that.
Huh! But neither's testimony said... She said that his mask didn't cover his face and he had a tattoo. But how do I prove that? I swear I've played these games before. We're all wearing masks, yeah? Oh, here it is.
Take that.
I just didn't read.
Here's my evidence. The outfit the ringleader was wearing throughout the auction. Or rather, the outfit you were wearing, Chairman Winner. And what exactly is that supposed to tell us,
Objection.
A suit, white gloves, and a mask. This disguise should have covered almost all of your skin. But according to Nurse Needler's testimony, the auctioneer's mask didn't quite cover your entire face. And not only that, she claims to have seen a tattoo on the part that was exposed. But was it a tattoo, or did she simply mistake a burn mark for one?
A burn mark? On the face?
Objection.
Sorry to interrupt while you're so clearly enjoying yourself, dear boy, but I regret to inform you that none of the committee members has such a burn. Myself included, of course.
But Dad, I mean...
Eustace, do you think you can be quiet, please? You can be foolish on your own time later. Well, you may be an annoyance most of the time, Mr. Winner, but on this particular occasion, I'm grateful for your presence. A reaction like that from you, his son, is as good an indicator of the truth as I could have hoped for. And it gives me a much-needed confidence boost concerning another theory of mine. Namely, who that one unexplained item belongs to.
What's the matter with Mr. Winner?
I think he might be in shock. After all, he's usually the last to figure things out. But in this case, he seems to have gotten there all too quickly. He knows that his father is indeed the real murderer.
He's sad because he knows the truth? So, it's better not to know the truth at all?
No, Kay. It's what we came here for. It doesn't matter how we get there. The important thing is finding the truth. You yourself told me that once, right when I needed to hear it the most. And now it's time for me to repay the favor and show you the truth of your innocence.
I want to know, too, the truth of what really happened. So please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you show me?
I very much intend to. My poor widow baby son. His dad about to be convicted of murder. Among other things. You don't know when to give up, do you? Where is this burn, then? Perhaps you could point it out to me. But you can't, can you? Because it's nowhere to be found. Just like your evidence that I'm the killer.
Yeah, hunt for contradictions all you like. You won't find any. Because he's my dad, a winner through and through.
I understand, Mr. Winner. I completely understand why you don't want to believe it's true. But if you ignore the truth now, you'll regret it for as long as you live.
Dad, what do I do?
I just don't understand it. How could I have raised such an utter buffoon? If you really wish to help your father, Eustace, you can try thinking on your own for once in your life, you useless nitwit!
But I try all the time, Dad. All I do is try. I went to the school you wanted me to go to. I aced every test. Look at my jacket. They only give these to the valedictorian. I did everything you told me to. I worked like crazy and graduated top of my class. I tried to be just like you and win as many trophies as I could.
Objection.
You really are just a simpering simpleton, aren't you? Those tests you aced, I had the school give you perfect scores on all of them. Those debate and speech competitions you won, the judges were all friends of mine. If you never even realized that much, there's no hope for you, I'm afraid. None at all. You're no son of mine. Even you must see that.
Ah! Wah!
Oh, gone. My own son. They all leave in the end. I mean, boo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Even when he was trying, he was failing, and he did it all for me. And he shouldn't have. Then he should have tried harder. I'm quiet. The bathroom quiet too. Everybody quiet. You're a disgrace. You don't deserve to be a father, and you certainly don't deserve to be chairman of this committee.
Even I feel sorry for the boy now. Poor Mr. Winner.
Explain yourself, Chairman Winner. Just what do you think your son is to treat him in such a way? Just what do you think your son is to treat him in such a way? An utterly useless pawn sounds about right. But you're one to talk, Verity. You tried to worm your way into my trust by using Eustace too. I cannot deny it. However, I have never thought of him as a mere pawn. He may not be a naturally gifted prosecutor, but he tries. In some ways, he tries harder than anybody. That's what I've witnessed during my time with him. Yet you would call him useless. How could you?
Objection.
Because he is Verity, my girl. He's utterly incapable of doing anything I ask of him. Mr. Edgeworth, I entrust my offering to the goddess to you, so that you may use it to call her final judgment unto Excelsius Winner. Thank you, Your Honor. I've been more than ready to do so. If the ringleader had a visible burn mark on their face that night, then it would follow that Chairman Winner is currently hiding that mark somehow. How exactly was he dressed during the auction? That will be the key to solving this case at last. Now then, your answer, please. Which piece of evidence will help us to reveal the burn mark on the culprit's face?
Take that.
Wig! Bald! Recall Nurse Needler's testimony, if you will. There was one thing we never quite resolved. The second wig. The one that wasn't used. Not me! Hello? How dare you? I seem to remember it being wavy. What are you two talking about? Nurse Needler apparently found some very interesting items when she went to swap places with the victim. And? What do they have to do with the burn mark? What she found were two wigs. One was intended to make her look more like the victim. Been waiting the entire case to do that? That is crazy! But what was the other one for? I don't suppose it was meant to be a spare. It doesn't take a huge leap of imagination to see the truth. Compare Chairman Winner's current appearance to that of the ringleader as it was described to us. Stop it! Stop staring at me! One very prominent difference presents itself. His face. Or rather, what's around it.
You mean, it wasn't a wig after all?
Indeed. Not a wig intended to go on top of the head in any case. It was a fake beard all along, wasn't it, Excelsius Winner? Why, this is all my own, dear boy. How very unkind of you to suggest otherwise. We saw how your son reacted when he realized the truth, and how he desperately tried to cover for you, even in light of his realization. Yet you still feared that he might expose you. So rather than take that risk, you bullied him until he couldn't take it anymore. Because he knew that your beard hides a prominent burn mark. Chairman Winner, I insist that you remove your beard this instant. Ew! Ew!
There it is! The burn mark!
Mr. Edgeworth, for bringing evil to justice before the eyes of the goddess, you have my thanks. Bald! No, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. Excelsius Winner, in the name of the goddess, I hereby pronounce my verdict. In the matter of the murder of Miss Rosie Ringer, this court finds you guilty. Another one!
Mr. Edgeworth, I can't thank you enough. You never gave up on me, even when I gave up on myself. That was very kind of you.
There's no need to thank me. As a prosecutor? No. As a friend, it was the least I could do. They're besties! Mr. Edgeworth, rejoice! I've learned that Chairman Winner has been safely delivered to the detention center. The search for the missing auction hammer continues. However, we are talking about Chairman Winner here, so it's highly likely that it's already been destroyed. In addition, there's one other matter I must inform you of. The chairman made a rather strange statement. According to him, the letters were not part of his plan. What? How could that be?
Rosie, thank you so much for agreeing to help with my plan. Now we can both get what we want.
He claims that he and Miss Needler found this letter on Miss Ringer's person.
Dear Kay, don't worry. I'll make sure you get your precious thing back. Rosie.
and that they found a second letter on Kay's unconscious body. From their contents, the letters seemed to be ones of correspondence. So he leapt to the conclusion that they must have been working with each other. It's quite the conclusion to jump to. As he read the letters, that's when he came up with the idea to frame Miss Faraday for Miss Ringer's murder. So he decided to place the victims in a very conspicuous place. Namely, in her left chest pocket. Sounds to me like he's just trying to make excuses for himself. Yes, I certainly thought the same. Perhaps it was some sort of last-ditch ploy on his part. But it matters not. He will answer to the goddess now. And under her scrutiny, such strategies cannot hope to succeed. He will not escape justice. And with that, one of the duties with which I have been entrusted with is complete at last. Judge Cavell, before you go, can you tell us what you know about how Chairman Winner came to murder Miss Ringer? There's more there, isn't there? Yes, and I suppose you've earned the right to the whole truth. Miss Ringer once had a lover, a press photographer. He was investigating the underground auctions as a freelance journalist. But before he could uncover the truth behind the auctions, he was disappeared. All Miss Ringer was left with were the memories and personal effects of her lover. And so, seeking revenge on Chairman Winner, she made her appearance at the auction. Unfortunately for her, her opponent struck first. See, so that's the story behind this case. While the goddess does not condone acts of wanton vengeance, Miss Ringer's actions have exposed Chairman Winner's crimes at last. So that was your real goal. You were tasked with exposing Excelsius Winner and the corruption at the heart of the committee.
Does anyone know what happened to Mr. Winner?
I'm afraid I've not been able to get in touch with him.
Do you have any idea why?
Probably because I wasn't there for him just now when he needed me most.
Oh, I really feel bad for him.
Well, don't pity him too much. At least he knows the truth now. And no matter how hard it might be, he'll need to learn to accept it. If he can't, he'll never be able to move on with his life. Trust me. A father's influence isn't easily erased, but in time, he can hopefully try to change his ways.
You're right. You've gotta be. Can I change too, I wonder? Can I move on with my life? Are you okay, Kay? How's that head feeling? I'm fine. Thank you. I'm so sorry, Kay. You were my patient. I had a responsibility to you, and instead, I let them accuse you of— Ouch! Danged right. We ain't just in the business of fixing bodies, Missy. The mind's where it all begins. You're right, Grandma. Speaking of which, how's your memory? It's like, with a little more time, maybe I'll be able to remember some more?
Please forgive me, but I'd better be on my way. I am to preside over the trial of Fifi Lagarde in a bit. The Bronco Knight case, huh? Who's the defense attorney? It was supposed to be Miss Ringer, but as she's no longer with us, we're still in the process of finding her replacement. Miss Ringer was scheduled to represent Warden Lagarde. And of course, until we find Eustace, there is nobody to act for the prosecution either. In any case, I must take my leave.
Wait! Please! What about Mr. Edgeworth's badge? What's going to happen to it now?
With its chairman under arrest, the committee's activities have been suspended for the time being. So to answer your question, it's complicated. It's all up to the goddess now.
But—
Don't worry about it, Kay. It's a consequence of my own making. And I assume you do not mean to change your mind? Of course not. I chose the path of the truth, and I chose it willingly. With Chairman Winner out of the picture, justice is in the hands of the righteous once more. If you did wish to follow the path of the prosecutor again, Mr. Edgeworth, I would be more than happy to facilitate such a decision. It's very kind of you to offer, but I can't accept your help at this time. I can't ask for my badge back when I'm not even sure if I want it anymore. I see. It seems we are destined to continue on different paths, then. Well, I trust you'll keep my badge safe until they converge again. With all I have. In the meantime, I have here a token of the goddess's mercy. You may return this notebook to its rightful owner. Kay's promise notebook. It seems it was due to be sold in the auction, and with the name Kay written on its cover, Chairman Winner made the connection immediately and knew who it belonged to. It was the same name as the one in the letters, after all. Letters he claimed to know nothing about. I suppose he insisted he didn't prepare them. Yes. He also had something else to say. Apparently, he thought that Miss Faraday was after her notebook and that Miss Ringer was after his life, and that their respective goals are what led them to cooperate and infiltrate the auction together. Unfortunately for him, he misread the situation completely. It was all just happenstance. If Kay had known a defense attorney who was also a member of the committee, there's no way she wouldn't have told me. That just isn't like her. Your belief in her is touching. While the notebook did become part of Chairman Winner's cover-up scheme, it is also a treasured possession of Miss Faraday's, which is why I would like for her to have it back, as I am sure, with the goddess. Thank you. I pray that it helps her to recover her lost memories.
Is everything alright?
Judge Gavel wanted me to return something important to you.
Isn't that... Always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Never cry in front of strangers. Daddy! I wrote them all down, Daddy! Yeah, I'm gonna keep all my promises and be a real hero when I grow up, just like you. Oh, wait! I forgot to write one down! The most important promise of all. Promise number 5. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. Hehe, I remembered it just how you said it, and now I'll never forget it. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. That's right. I have to try. I'm Kay Faraday, the great thief who will do anything to get her hands on the truth. Second Yatakarasu and assistant to Mr. Edgeworth. Did I make it in time? You're here for the ending. Welcome in, Gray. How are you?
Kay, is that really you?
Can't say I'm not a little bit embarrassed, but... Yeah, I'm back, and I couldn't have done it without you, Mr. Edgeworth. You never stopped helping me, even when I was totally lost and couldn't remember anything.
Thank goodness. You certainly seem to be back.
Kay! So this is the real you, huh? Welcome back. It's so good to know you're better. I can sleep easy now. Now that you found it, don't you dare go losing that memory of yours again, young lady. You hear? Miss Needler, Dr. Hertz, thanks a lot for looking after me. And if you really are better, how about you get out of them dang hospital duds? Oh yeah, I washed all your clothes for you. Here.
I thought they were with Detective Gumshoe.
He handed them over to us after they came back from forensics.
Totally not hiding in the bathroom at work for the last 8 minutes. You know, I don't blame you.
Hope work is going well, though.
And did he happen to mention if forensics found anything of note?
I didn't ask. Anyway, never mind that now. Put them on, Kay. I want to see.
Wait, what about her bandages? Surely it's too soon to remove them.
Oh, it's probably fine. She may have taken a big old bump to the head, but she wasn't really hurt otherwise.
But then, why all the bandages in the first place?
Prevention is better than cure. A stitch in time saves 9. Those are just a few of my mottos.
Both of which sound like painfully annoying practices for your patients.
Okay, Kay. Transformation time. Yeah, now this is what I'm talking about. Fits like a stolen glove.
That smile suits you better too. As it always did.
Thanks to you too, Miss Von Karma. I'm so glad you showed up when you did.
I simply came when Scruffy asked me to. I'm sure he'll be very happy to see that you're back to your old self too.
Speaking of Gummy, where is he?
Who knows? Perhaps the well of his devotion ran dry when a certain someone threw away his badge. Detective Gumshoe. Anyway, I have to be going, and I'll be taking those two with me. and I'll be taking those two with me. Enunciation.
Wait, what's going to happen to them?
Acting as an accomplice in a murder and forging an autopsy report 18 years ago. Their crimes can't be allowed to go unpunished. Can you really convict her for a crime she committed 18 years ago? Are we sure it's, is it still, you know... I forget the word. What is the word? Welcome in, Awesome Objection! How are you? What is the word I'm looking for? The time limit. What is the time limit called? I know this. But the fact that Excelsius Winner coerced them into cooperating will, of course, be taken into account.
Don't you worry about us, Kay. As long as Grandma and me are together, we'll be alright.
The statute of limitations, yes, thank you. Are we sure that's not up? Have you watched the Nintendo Direct earlier? I did not. Did they announce Ace Attorney? Take care, Kay Faraday, until we meet again. So, Kay, I know you only just got your memory back, but I need to ask you some questions.
No, dang it. Sure, ask away.
What happened the day you lost your memory? What were you doing?
Let's see. Somebody asked me to meet them at Gourd Lake. But I didn't know who it was. So there I was, just looking up at the moon when...
I really was hoping for a hold-it plot twist somewhere. Yeah, what a shame.
Somebody in a red raincoat started walking towards me. They must have drugged me somehow, because that's when I fell unconscious.
What? I'm not sure I follow. This lake is a curse? Absolutely. So many bad things happen here. Kay was at Gourd Lake, looking up at the moon.
Anyway, when I came to, I was on the roof of this building.
The miracle that never came. Oh well, better luck this September at Tokyo Game Show. We manifest. We simply manifest.
I was in a daze and stumbling around up there when... I saw the person in the red raincoat again, but they were lying on the ground. I was so surprised I stumbled backward. And then I was falling, and everything went dark. When I came to the second time, I couldn't remember anything.
Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it.
The person in the red raincoat. Who in the world were they? I'm sure they were walking in midair. Thinking about it is making my head hurt.
Just breathe, Kay. You only just got your memory back. You're still confused. I imagine the root cause of your confusion is... your memories of two different locations. I imagine things are all mixed up in your mind because... Which Ace Attorney games have I finished? I've played all of them, but on stream we've gone through the first trilogy and this is the second Investigations game. So we're making good progress. I'd say we're about halfway through. We also played the Latent crossover. We're at Gourd Lake 1 minute, and then at the top of the big building the next. And because you saw the moon in both locations, your mind blended your memories of the two together.
Huh? But those are two totally different places. I know I was pretty out of it, but I don't think I could have gotten them confused that easily.
I believe these things on the roof may have made you more likely to become confused.
Take that!
There are two key similarities between the scene down by Gourd Lake and here on top of the big building. Cherry blossoms and food stands. Is Great Ace Attorney 3 likely, or Ace Attorney 7? I feel like Reno's story already ended naturally. I feel like if they do Great Ace Attorney 3, it's going to be in Japan, and it's, like, some people come to visit, right? That would be my assumption. And then Ace Attorney 7, I'm not sure. Because on one hand, I feel like Athena really, really, really needs a game of her own. But also, I don't know if they'd want to use the same characters. Great Ace Attorney 3 felt concluded, but the door was left open for more. Yeah, right? Because, like, even in the ending, I'm pretty sure they were like, oh, the next time we see you, it'll be in Japan, right? It was something to that effect. So it's possible, I feel.
I'm open for either.
They really need to let Feeny rest.
Bro tried. He tried to rest.
But shh. We haven't gotten there yet on stream. Yeah, Greatest Attorney 2 felt concluded vote open, yes.
But yeah. So I don't know. I don't care. I just want another one.
Feeny will never rest. The defense never rests.
Wait, you're right.
Those similarities are what caused your memories of both places to overlap.
Greatest Attorney is unlikely after they had to cram 2 games into one because their budget got cut. Really? Wait, their budget got cut, but the game popped off that hard? It was so good.
The person in the red raincoat wasn't walking in midair. They were walking towards you from across the park. But in your blurry memories, the same sight played out over the viewing platform instead.
No way! Who steals a great thief's memories, huh? That's just cheating. Ace Attorney is a main title, true.
Even still, this doesn't answer the question of who attacked Kay in the park. Was it the person in the red raincoat she saw? Do you hear that?
It sounds like it's coming from up in the storeroom. Come on, let's go take a look. Well, who? Wait, I smell another scoop in the oven.
You're still here?
She never left. It's coming from this little gadget here, Mr. Edgeworth.
This transceiver. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before.
They just announced Ace Attorney elevated to main headliner game last month. Yeah, let's go. It's still going.
I'm no good with technology.
Come on, you just have to pick up. Fine, I'll do it. Hey, this is Edgeworth.
Kay, if you could refrain from answering strange calls for me. Mr. Edgeworth, I presume. I know that voice. Shelley the Killer. Congratulations on another case solved. Yet, I can't truly say it's been fully resolved. Can you?
Flashbacks to Shelley. I love Shelley.
I'm sure you've noticed by now that there was a mastermind at work orchestrating the entire incident. How do you even know about this case?
And on guard? Yeah! That case was so good.
That's not what's important right now. Let's focus on this certain individual for the time being, shall we?
Great case from Game 2, I know.
I have indeed been wondering myself if somebody else could have been involved. If not, how are we to explain the piece of evidence that proves so damning to Kay's case?
First Greatest Attorney wasn't well received due to how they laid out the story. The first game set up the events of the second, and the second was meant to set up the third, but their budget was cut, so they only had... Oh. I didn't know that. I feel like both of them were still really good, though. I like the way that they led into... like, one led into two. I thought that was really cool. No way! An evil mastermind! But who?
Who indeed? Perhaps you can share your thoughts. What is the evidence in question that points to someone else's involvement? Ha! What?
Oh. Be real, guys, I do not remember the answer for this one. Just gonna... I see. I understand.
Take that!
The letter K supposedly wrote to the victim.
Yeah, I don't remember ever writing that.
So who did? Who would prepare such a thing? I know I'm not the only one who would like to know. How do we know it wasn't you? Or why would I do a thing like that, hmm? I believe the truth can only fully come to light in a court of law.
But since you've had your badge revoked, that is no longer an option. So how will it all end? I, for one, will be watching from the sidelines with interest. He even knows about my badge. Oh, and one last thing. I do hope you won't betray my trust in you. Now, I bid you farewell.
What the heck did he mean by the case hasn't been fully resolved? And why is he so interested in us anyway? Ugh, everything is just one giant ball of mysteries.
It seems we've only scratched the surface of this case. But even without my badge, I'm going to carry on doing what I can. However this ends, one thing is for certain. Come what may, I will expose the truth.
Yippee!
Alright, we will be stopping here for today. My voice, gone. Dead even. Alright. Let me find somebody to raid to.